Hi everybody, my name is Claudia Kaiser. I'm a holistic nutrition coach, and today I want to talk about something that I am currently going through again, and that I guess many of you are struggling with as well. And I'm talking about perfectionism, and at the flip side of the coin, self-doubts. So throughout my life there's been this pattern of feeling that what I did or who I was just never good enough, independent of the results that I actually achieved. And in general, I achieved very good results. But whenever I had a B, I wanted an A. When I had an A, it was okay. It was just the way it had to be. I once ran a marathon in 3 hours 33, and I was so unhappy because I had really wanted to run below 3:30. When today, looking back, I'm just like, how could I ever run so fast? And when at work I had to make a brochure, I would need at least 6 correction rounds instead of the usual 3. And when then it was printed, I would still find something that I could have done differently. So this is perfectionism in action. And besides just consuming tons of energy that you could use in much more efficient ways, it has the potential to actually sabotage your success, in the sense that either you just never get things done on time, or you keep on improving and improving and improving, in the end it's so complex that nobody understands it anymore. Or you're actually just not confident enough about the result to promote it in a way that it would actually deserve to be promoted. And I still remember many years back, at an assessment center that I had to go through during the final evaluation round, one of the assessors told me that I had ended best of the group, and he literally told me, "You are so good, if only you believed it too." And then he continued to point out how through my language I kept myself small, insecure, and actually not to be taken serious. Yeah, maybe to a certain extent it could be that actually, you could be saying the smarter thing. If you say it like that, it will not land in the way that it could have if you'd spoken the same words in a more confident way. So while in the meantime, over the last 10 years, I've worked on my confidence, and I managed to say goodbye to the illusion of perfectionism to a certain extent, in a way that now I can make this kind of videos, for example. There are still times when self-doubts creep in, and when they actually sabotage my potential and my success, because they make me be insecure in times that I would need to be confident energetically in my words and in my whole being. And now I could get angry about that and say, like, enough is enough, and I'm just never going to allow this nonsense to keep me from my fullest potential. And that's actually what I did just like last week. But it's not as simple as that. Because just like any other unwanted symptom, unwanted habit, unwanted behavior, these self-doubts are also there for a reason. They have a message, and even a treasure, if you remember my last video. So rather than just trying to push them aside, we actually need to listen to them and embrace them, to understand what their message is, so that they can disappear just by themselves. So in this case now, for myself, I know that these self-doubts are actually rooted in fear. Fear about being successful. Because being successful means that there's not only lots of people who like us, but there's also lots of people who hate us, who envy us, who criticize us, who do not agree with us, and who potentially throw harsh words at us. Personally, I still have the memory of being pestered a lot at school, because I didn't participate in all those cool activities that other kids of my age would participate in. But in my perception, also because I was good at school, I had good grades. So I was being successful. So true or not true, this experience, which at that time was really traumatic for me, still is deeply ingrained in my whole being. And I'm not saying that because I want your pity, it's just to make clear my point. And the point is that my body holds on to the connection. Successful equals lonely, painful, suffering, and not loved. So no good, to be avoided at all costs. Of course, from a today's perspective, I know that this is silly, but from the perspective of the 10-year-old girl that I used to be, it's not silly, it's actually quite serious. So these self-doubts, they actually have some very protective qualities to them. So the work now becomes attending to this scared young girl. I can talk to her from my adult me, reassuring her that even though we might have been hurt in the past, we're stronger now, and that no matter what we do, there will always people who will not like us and who will want to hurt us, but that this behavior actually says much more about them than it does about us, and that we can even take the dirt that they throw at us and turn it into fertilizer to make us even stronger. I can take her into my arms and I can tell her that for every person who will hate her, there will be 5 others who will love her, and that in worst case, she will always still have my love. I can remind her of the path that we've already walked, and that even though it was hard at times, we're still here, we survived. So that's what I'm doing now whenever I catch myself feeling or talking in an insecure way. And that's what I would urge you to do as well, to find your message in your self-doubts and to start working with them rather than against them. There's a saying that we teach what we need to learn. So I believe by sharing my inner world with you, it's useful for both of us. And I trust that this was useful, and I look forward to seeing you soon again. Thank you very much. Have a good day.